One of the best things about photography and video is the cameras that you use to capture the images, but there's also the accessories that help you get there. And for me, I use a lot of different things, but there's about a handful that I've laid out here that I think make a difference. I'm going to start with the Joby Gorillapod 5K, and the reason being is because this is probably the most robust of all the tripods that Joby makes. If you're not familiar with this company, they are known or renowned for the fact they have the articulating legs, which you can wrap around a lot of different things or articulate in any which way to get the angle that you want. And this is no exception given the fact that it can handle up to 11 pounds. So if you have a DSLR or even a telephoto lens, whatever it is you might have, a flash, a light on top of that, it can handle quite a bit of weight on top of it. But the articulation doesn't end there, because you can also pan around up to 360 degrees with a numerical value even showing you how far you can go, so you can be precise. And of course, you can also go 90 degrees. So whether you're using a camera or even a phone, a smartphone, you can essentially shoot any way you want with something like this. So for those reasons, I like it, because it is very, very versatile, whether I'm shooting indoors or I'm out in the field somewhere, and it really has not given me any kind of a problem. So I highly recommend it. It is a bit pricey, of course, because you're looking at about 150 bucks for a tripod, but with a great base plate, nice design, plenty of versatility, it is kind of worth it. I did mention phones earlier, and that's where the Manfrotto Pixie clamp comes in. So this is one of those clamps. I mean, I know there's a whole bunch of them out there, but this is one that I've come to trust. And the reason being is because, first of all, it doesn't squeeze the phone, and it has a locking mechanism. But it gets better than that, because not only will it fit up to pretty much up to the widest phone that you have, including if there's a case on there. It won't necessarily fit phones that have thick OtterBox cases, so keep that in mind, because there is an indent on both sides. So if you have a thicker case that kind of protrudes out, this may have a bit of a problem holding on to that. But that being said, it still can handle most phones with cases. And not only that, but you can also angle it the way you want. So it has threads for both vertical and for landscape setups or portrait setups, and with a locking mechanism in the back. So whether if you've you fit it snugly on the phone and then you've locked it in place, you at least have a little bit of extra security there. But I also really, really like the fact that it has a hot shoe at the top. Now, of course, it's not an active hot shoe, it's just a place that you can put something in. But if you wanted to put a light or something, whatever it is, a microphone, a light, whatever you want, it's a really good way to do that. So you have plenty of versatility when you're using a mount like this, and that's certainly been the case for me anytime that I've been shooting with a phone. I'm going to stick to phones here for a second and talk about ShiftCam. So ShiftCam is a company out of Hong Kong that makes a case that also doubles as a lens set. So there are about 5 lenses in here. Well, technically it's 4.5, and the reason why is because basically what you have a system where you can slide it across. This is for the iPhone 11, 11 Pro, and 11 Pro Max, but the systems are the same regardless of which phone you use, and the price is the same as well. I see it for about $80 US right now. First of all, you have a polarizing filter for the iPhone's ultra wide lens. Now, if you've ever shot with this lens and you've noticed that it tends to wash out colors or highlights a lot, it's partly because there's not a whole lot of dynamic range compared to the other lenses on the iPhone. This fixes that. So when you adjust the ring around, you can adjust the filter. So that way you can make it a little bit darker or lighten it just enough so that some of that detail comes out in the highlights, and then also you preserve some of the colors too. Moreover, though, you get a few other lenses. So when you slide it across and you put it over the existing lenses that are on the iPhone, you'll get you'll get a 20 times macro, a 10 times macro, a 4 times telephoto. There's 4 different lenses in here. And of course, the 180-degree fisheye. Can't forget that one in case you really want to warp things around. So you might think some of this is gimmicky, but you'd be surprised at how useful it could be, especially the macro cameras, because if you really want to get close and want to get into some detail, it could either be an insect, it could be something from food, whatever it is. If you're looking for a macro camera of some kind, you at least have 2 you can use here. The telephoto side is good because at least it doubles the extension for the iPhone. So you have that too. I mentioned lights earlier too, and you may have come across this one possibly on an ad on Instagram, because that's where I first saw it. The company that sells these primarily is called Rory Lights, and even though I didn't buy them directly from them, they do sell them in a number of seems like a number of copycats are out there too. So the key thing here is that you have a light that not only is very bright, but is also completely adjustable based on the scrolling wheel here. You're looking at about 3200 to 5500 Ks. The lumens are about 1000 at the brightest. And of course, with the battery situation in the back, you can either use the battery that is already built in. So there's a lithium battery that comes with the unit, or if you're really strapped, you can use 4 AA batteries to make up for that. The plates actually are interchangeable. So you'll have a sunset plate, and then you'll have the regular clear plate. You can actually switch these around. If you wanted a warmer photo, you could actually just put the sunset plate on there and do it that way. One thing I do that I like is to use gels. So if I apply a gel over the white light, I can get that light and really come up with some dramatic, and really, really cool effects. So the light is pretty cool. I mean, it's got the thread at the bottom. You can put it on any hot shoe. It's adjustable, very easy to carry. It takes a while to charge up the battery, I will say that, but it is pretty versatile. And getting a couple of these, as I have really come in handy for me. The last item is actually one that I'm using right now, which is the Sennheiser XS WD portable lavalier kit. If you want to go a little bit further with a microphone, you want to get your audio up to a different level when it comes to shooting video, regardless of whether it's with a phone or with a camera, this is one product that's going to do that. It's a bit pricey at about $430, but you do get what you're paying for in many ways. Sennheiser is already well known for being a very good audio brand in a number of respects, whether it's headphones or commercial audio products. But when it comes to microphones, they've been doing this for a long time too. The beauty of this, of course, is that it's wireless. So I have one side that's connected to the camera, and then of course there's the one that's connected to me here. They speak wirelessly to each other, and the signal is very, very clear. The great thing is that it's got quite a bit of range too. So I don't necessarily have to be super close to the camera in order for it to hear me. I can be a little bit further away as well, whether I'm walking. It just adds a lot of different versatility and options when you want to get creative. The setup is actually quite easy too, because once you charge them up and then pair them, it's very, very simple. There's not a whole lot to do when it comes to that. One thing about it though is that it is a bit of a sensitive mic. So you probably want to dial down the volume a little bit on the microphone on your camera so that you're not picking up all these extraneous sounds. You can also use it with other microphones if you want, whether they're lavalier or portable. It's up to you. The connector is pretty universal. So there are some options there too if you want to expand on what you already have. That's my list of about a handful of products here that I like to use, and hopefully you'll find some of them useful as well. For Get Connected, I'm Tech Ritsonis. Thanks for watching.